This is going to be a fun series of videos. I actually have 3 of them coming. This is for TCL projectors. They sent these over to me. I'm been showing them all off in the intro to each video so that we can kind of see the differences of them. I thought about doing a big video comparing all of them, but they're just such unique and interesting products that I think they all deserve their own video, but I do kind of want to touch on them. This one here is the A1. It's a cool little thing. It has its little box in the background. Very focused on obviously portability. If you want like a larger type thing, this slides down. You get a nice cool little angle. It comes with a full carrying case over here. This is the C1 here. This is meant to be just essentially a super budget friendly projector. And then we do have the Play Cube here. This one is super cool. It's a cube. If you watch my channel, you know I like compact little cube type things. This one here, as you can see, it turns. It's not a Rubik's Cube. It's a portable projector. So this is actually going to let you take it on the go. It actually has a built-in battery, which is really sweet. Okay, so now, why TCL? Right, there's a lot of projector brands on the market. Of course, there's also a lot of television brands on the market. Why would you pick TCL? Well, first of all, I didn't know this, but TCL has been around for 44 years. When I looked this up to like talk about them, it's 44 years. That's older than me, and I'm old, so that's really cool. So they've been around for a super long time. I have used TCL TVs, I would say at least for 15 years. I lost track of time. It's been at least 15 years. It might be 20 when I got my first TCL, but it's been at least 15 years. I kind of was thinking back. And I have been very happy with them. I bought the TCL stuff because I was able to walk into a brick and mortar store. At that time, it was probably a Future Shop or maybe a Best Buy. So it would be 20 years because it would have been Future Shop. Walk in there, and there was all these different brands, all the different brands out there. And I was like, well, these all have the same type of spec, like the one that I wanted, the same type of spec, but the TCL one costed less money. So I bought it. It's fantastic, right? Then fast forward to today, we've had all these years and all these different things that I've bought, and I still gravitate towards the brand. I have a TCL TV right behind the camera over there. Why? Well, first of all, it did actually cost slightly less than the competitors, but that's not the only thing. It's not like TCL came out here and they're like, let's match brand X and we'll just put out the same thing and it'll cost less money. I mean, that's pretty sweet right there. That's a reason to buy it alone, but it's not just that, because that wouldn't be enough for me. You know how I am. I want new tech. I want good tech. I want the envelope to be pushed forward, which is something that they are doing. I'm not sure what order I'm going to release these videos in. I've already been testing. I've tested a little of them simultaneously, and then I've done the full review for the C1 because I just wanted to. Can't do it, all the reviews at one time. This one here is one step up. So you're going from the very budget, like aggressive budget section. This is still pretty budget though. Like you're actually not adding that much in terms of cost. Like you just add a little bit in terms of price to this thing, to the previous one. Now all of a sudden you step it up. You do get some more benefits though. It's not like you're just paying more for no reason. The design is a little bit different, obviously, right? We get the higher brightness, that kind of stuff. So you are stepping up the specifications as well. There should be some better audio on this as well. So on the back here, we do have that big boomer right there. I was impressed with the audio on the C1, to be honest, very impressed. So we'll see what this thing does, because this is an even bigger audio chamber there. So I don't know, maybe it's just gonna blow my socks off or something like that. Who knows, right? So that's really nice. A little bit of a different adjustment here. You get this thing, kind of that slidey type thing, rather than the hinge style. It's kind of cool. It's an interesting little design. Very neat. Otherwise, we're looking at good products regardless. So that's nice. This is a fabric-y type material here. The plastic has this kind of like nebula blue with, I don't know if you can see that on camera, can you? Yeah, you can. It's got like a speckle. Nebula blue. I think that's an Apple thing, but whatever. And then you get this cool case here. So this is a foam style case. You get your little charger or your little power cable. It's actually not very big, which is nice. Nice little wee thing there. You get your standard kind of Google TV type remote. Comes with batteries, and they're TCL branded. Let's see if I can see that. Isn't that cool? I didn't know they made batteries. Let's get it set up, and let's get it tested. It actually is a pretty good price here, just as a base price here on the TCL website. It looks like there is a 15% off coupon right now. Now, this is not during Amazon Prime days, but it looks like these things do go on sale fairly often, and the base price is pretty compelling, to be honest. But if you can find these things on Amazon Prime Day, other type sales, you can get these things for an even more compelling price. But even the base, I'll consider this the base price before the coupon, is really good. Honestly, it's really good. Okay, now here's a look at the website here with the A1S. Of course, they have all their other stuff as well. So we can see this one here is designed to be portable. It does actually have a handle there that slides down, which is really cool to work as a stand. So it is a portable base projector, of course. So there's some general specs here. So of course there is wired and wireless. You can use that as well. It is full of licensed officially licensed apps, Netflix, Google, Disney, etc., etc. Then you have a lot of automatic features built in as well. So we'll show this in the video. So we have auto screen fit, we have obstacle avoidance, which is if you have something on the side of the screen, it'll help avoid it. Keystone, because you're not necessarily going to have this thing perpendicular to the wall. Autofocus, etc. It's also very bright. So 600 ISO lumen is very bright, of course. So I'm going to be showing this in kind of a middling brightness room. In a dark room, it's going to be insanely bright. But even in the room that I'm going to be testing this in, which will have a decent amount of light bleed coming from windows on that, it's still going to be very bright. And they say here the true hue, this is basically just the the color range and accuracy. So it's going to have accurate colors and it's going to have rich colors, where I mean, honestly, a lot of projectors, especially the stuff that's not as expensive, you actually do end up with an image like that where it does have not so accurate colors, but also just very washed out. Now, the audio is something that is very impressive on this device here. It doesn't actually say here, but it has two 8-watt speakers built in there, Dolby. So you're going to get two speakers built in, and this thing has crazy boom, 75 hertz. It's basically going to be a ton of boom at the low end. It's shockingly good. But on top of that, it's rich throughout as well. So it's not just the low end, it's all the way throughout. And it says, vibration suppression. There is no rattle or anything like that. So when we get to the audio section, that's going to be, I honestly prepare to be impressed. And I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's a giant, giant booming speaker in the back there. So it's something that they are emphasizing, I guess, as a, selling feature. And in this video, I mean, I put that to the test and prepare to be impressed. And of course, it does have features like, hey, the built-in voice commands, hey Google kind of stuff. You can tell it that and then tell it what you want, ask it to play something, and it'll do it. So it does have built-in voice commands as well, native Google TV, Google Home integration. So very good. Going through the setup, you can of course use this. I'll show you that. It's a Google TV setup, so it's very, very easy to set up. You can use this here. You can use the Google Home app on your phone. You can actually just use a mouse and keyboard. I typically actually use this mouse and keyboard, which sounds weird, but it's just easy for me. And what I do is I just plug in a little dongle. I usually leave these in here. And then you can just control it that way with a mouse and keyboard or this. So you can kind of get access to both. Okay, so we'll start here with an incredibly bright scene. I have a giant light shining right down onto the surface here. It's very, very, very bright. So as you can see, it's a huge light right there. So the worst case scenario for the TCL, and it's having no problem. This is a bright projector. Wow, okay. Yeah, it's doing a really good job despite how freaking bright this room is here. I'm going to turn the lights down a bit here, but we might as well start like that. But anyway, so you can see here it's finding its focus, and now it's going to do auto keystone. So despite the fact that this thing is now on an angle, you can see it's pointed up, it's able to adjust. And then of course, if you press this down, right, go like that, it's going to then adjust again, and it's going to say, well, you adapted. So I guess standard Google TV, because it is Google TV. So there's no weirdness here. We'll go in here. I can set it up with Google Home, sorry. I can set it up like that on the device here, and we'll go through and set it up. Very, very, very easy. Okay, so as you can see here, it does just have your traditional, I guess, interface here saying, what apps do you want to start off with? And they're all, they're licensed, right? So you could get Disney, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, all these kind of things. I'm Canadian, so it's got the Canadian versions, I guess I'd say. If you're a different region, you'll get your stuff. We're just going to go with YouTube for now because I don't want to play protected media and then get the video flagged and taken down. But I can play my own stuff. So we'll come in here. Very easy to set up. It just took literally just took a couple minutes, followed through, and we're good to go. So yeah, make sure that you don't turn up the volume on your phone and then all of a sudden just not pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, anyways, you have that right where you can use, do Google Gemini, you can use voice commands. It's going through Google Home as well, so you can do all of that kind of stuff in one go. It's, a Google device. It's all set up, it's all integrated, so that's really nice. Review, it's all set up and good to go. Let's start with, noise, that kind of stuff. Then we'll do some image quality, audio, colors, some gain tests, all that kind of stuff. Right, so we can see here, this is looking fantastic, right? Very vibrant greens here. This one, I have like a very high color space OLED laptop, and other than the blacks being better on an OLED, obviously, This is still doing pretty good. Like those OLED, those blacks are pretty damn good. Right, and here's something that I need to point out here. This is just like a little TCL demo. It's not necessarily related to this TV, or this projector, obviously. It's for their mini LED TVs. But what I want to point out here, despite, other than the colors and all that kind of stuff, is this looks crisp, right? This is not a 4K image, right? This is a 1080p image here. And it's a huge canvas. This is like a 60-inch canvas we're looking at here. So if this was a television or a screen at 1080p resolution here, you would absolutely be seeing, pixelation here. Because those are different. They use actual pixels. Like there are literal physical pixels on the screen that are outputting light, right? They're typically rectangular. They can be triangular, but typically, they're a shape there. And so when you get an image that's this large at that resolution, you really do start to see pixel edges where you get edging and you can see the fringing. And it's very noticeable if you're on a computer monitor, like a 1080p monitor, you're playing games or something, and you go to the desktop and you can see like absolute pixelation and jankies and that kind of stuff. You don't have that here because this is not working that way. This is not a pixel on the screen outputting light at us. This is a bulb projecting onto the wall. It's kind of the inverse type technology here, right? So there is no pixels to look at here. This is outputting onto the wall. So while I would say it's hard to kind of describe this, but you get a little bit of softening of those edges that would normally be on a pixel. You don't have that. You don't have those boxy jank little pieces here like that, right? Even if the data going in here is a raster image that is, boxy pixels, it's going to give you a natural softening, almost like CRT TVs back in the day. But that's one of the advantages of projectors, where even though you're not necessarily, outputting like an 8K image at the finest resolution ever, so it's going to be like the crispest thing you can possibly imagine, it doesn't matter as much, right? So when you look at a projector like this on paper and you're like, it's only 1080p, that's bad. Well, it's not. You can't compare it to a screen, like a television. You can't compare it to a television. It's not the same tech, right? So you can't look at all the specs here and compare it one for one to a computer monitor or a television, because it's not the same thing, right? They're not the same thing. So here, this looks super sharp and crisp. And that actually, to be honest, that natural softening makes it look quite nice, right? Even on YouTube compression, all that kind of stuff, it makes it look very nice. You'll also notice here there is no jitter, I can't remember the word, where we're getting any of that. There's no latency in this YouTube video. It looks nice and crisp. There's no movement judder. It looks fantastic. Wide color gamut. It does have a wide color gamut. It looks really nice here. So even though this is for like a TV, a TCL TV, this video here, it's doing a pretty good wonders on this projector too, so that's nice. It does not have 144 hertz variable refresh rate. That's for their like high-end gaming stuff. That's really nice. But yeah, very nice. Okay, let's do some audio tests. This is very impressive imagery. In this price category, yeah, that's very good. Also, it's really bright too. The other thing here is, this is a really bright screen. I don't have like a light meter to kind of measure how bright this is getting, but rest assured, this is bright. Like this is a really bright image here. One of the selling features of this thing is the crazy good screen. I just bumped it. Is the crazy good screen. So let's come in here and we'll turn up some audio and we'll test it out. Now this thing gets super loud. That's one thing. Yeah, so we're looking at over 80 dB. Turn it down. Doesn't need to be that loud to test it. And even at 50, you're looking at about 80 dB. It goes up to like 90 dB, but listen to that bass. It's really good. Yeah, it's excellent audio. Yeah, I'm very impressed with the audio on this thing, honestly. Just let it run. This boomer here, holy smokes, does that output a lot of bass. This thing puts out a ton of bass. Honestly, a ton of bass out of that thing right there. It sounds really good. Big thump, like low-end bass. It's amazing how that little sub-type thing there can put out that kind of low-end bass. Very impressive. So if you're watching movies and films, You're going to get so much boom out of this thing, it's going to sound fantastic. And that's obviously really nice. You know, you're going to get a ton of boom out of this thing. It's just going to be an absolute monster in terms of those low end. You know, you're watching Avengers or something, there's all kinds of explosions, playing games. That low end boom is going to be really nice. The mid range is lovely, rich and full. And the high end. This is a very good audio on this thing. It's not a very big projector too, right? Like it's pretty small. But TCL obviously prioritized this thing sounding very good. Okay, so now we're going to jump into some Nintendo Switch 2. The consoles work fine, PC works fine, my little Steam machine at home works fine. I'm doing this because it's so vibrant. Obviously it's super, super vibrant. The Nintendo Switch 2, I mean, especially these Pokemon games and Nintendo first party games, they really do focus on vibrancy. And look at how vibrant it is. So now here's the thing. Yeah, the Switch 2 can do 4K. My little Steam machine at home can do 4K. You know, a lot of them PCs can do 4K. But they're a lot of the time a lot happier at 1080p, right? They're going to be a lot happier at 1080p in terms of performance and that. You know, you're not going to have any frame drops at 1080p where they may struggle at 4K. On a projector like this here, you know, you're outputting it'll intake 4K image. When I first set this on, it was setting to 4K, and I was like, let's just do a native 1080p. You can do either. You can decide which one you want to do. And if you do a native 4K, it'll just go to 1080p anyways. If you do 1080p though, then you're going to end up with, you know, it's just going to be way easier to run, right? Switch 2, Switch 1 especially only does 1080p. And then, you know, you get yourself, you know, Windows handhelds, Steam-based handhelds, all kinds of different stuff. They're going to be much, 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 much happier at these lower resolutions. My Steam machine at home type thing, I mean, yeah, you can do 4K. It's not a problem. But you're going to be, you know, really struggling with turning down the settings and that kind of stuff. Whereas 1080p, you're typically cranking it up. Like you're getting high FPS. You're getting, you know, turning up this stuff to ultra kind of stuff and getting really, really, really good performance. So I would personally, I found a Pokemon. So I would personally recommend, you know, these for gamers. They make a lot of sense because, hey, Bellsprout, because you're going to be, you know, using a 4K image on TV. That's fine, especially for, you know, the modern stuff. But there's nothing wrong with this 1080p. The consoles are going to be totally happy with a 1080p output. Your PC is going to be totally happy with 1080p output, and it's not going to look like 1080p on like a monitor, like, you know, a 32-inch or 27-inch monitor right in front of your face where you can see all the pixels. That's not like this. These don't use pixels, right? You're getting a projected image onto the wall, so it's going to look much, much, much softer around those little janky edges and causes that smooth effect. But as a result, I mean, look at this text. It looks fantastic, right? It looks beautiful. And because this projector here is so freaking bright and it has really good color space, despite the fact that I'm in a, like, mid-afternoon room with like a big window right beside it, it's nice and bright, we're going to get very, very, very good clarity here. And on top of that, I'm not even outputting onto a canvas. I thought about it for this video, you know, setting up my white canvas, which I have a portable one, but it's doing such a good job without it. It's doing such a good job on the actual like wall type thing. And this is how I use it. I don't actually use that canvas. I just output it on the wall. It's doing such a good job, then why worry about it? So there you go. That's the TCL A1. Let's wrap it up. I mean, I'll get stuck in this game if I keep playing. So that's the TCL A1. The C1 did exceed my expectations quite a bit because it's such a budget-friendly offering. But this is only one step up in terms of pricing, and it really does, like, it justifies that price increase. This thing is crazy good. I think this one, we'll see. I don't know. I have 3 of them now. I really like the idea of that little cube one, but I mean, this one is just such a banger and it's not big. Like you can really just set this anywhere and it's going to give you a really good screen. And I don't want to play my Switch 2 and my, my little Steam machine, that kind of stuff on a 4K screen because they're not as happy at that. I want to play on something like this, especially with that very nice softening of those pixel edges where you don't get jankies. It just looks fantastic. So this might be my go-to actually, this one here, the A1. Yeah, don't be surprised if you see this potentially in future videos, like especially when the Steam machine, the real Steam machine comes out. Don't be surprised if the thing actually appears in some of those videos potentially. It's a little bit easier to capture a projector than it is to capture a screen too, and I might just be using this for my own self. So yeah, that's the C1. This one is, the A1, sorry. A1 is really good. Whether you get the C1 or the A1, your choice. I mean, if you can justify the price increase to go with the C1, go with the A1 over the C1, of course, it does. There is an increase in quality, but then the next one we have up here is the little cubey boy. Yeah, that's the next one. But yeah, that's the A1. It's very good, honestly. Really, really, really good. Nice projector.